sweet old auntie, everybody needs.
With a whoop whoop and a boop boop.
Auntie advice.
You can't make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs sweet old auntie.
So why even fuckers?
Auntie's advice, sweet old auntie. Auntie's advice. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome everybody, and this is Auntie. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. To all of my new subscribers who have joined, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. I really do appreciate you being here and joining us as we review these crazy shows. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. We are back and doing our review of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, Season 1, Episode 4. Y'all, villain or victim? Villain or victim? Let's get into this. We are going to complete this whole series by next week. So be looking for me at any time, any place. Okay. Be looking out for me. Y'all, this thing is getting crazier and crazier by the minute. Again, as I've said repeatedly, I am so up and down with this damn thing. I don't know what to do with myself, right? I am going to be looking away from the screen because I'm going to be bringing up my notes. Y'all know I got to get my notes together. So I will not be seeing you, but please feel free if you like, to send a super chat or whatever, right? We ain't asking over here. We just saying it's okay. And I'll come back in because I know a lot of times I have been missing them. But y'all, what do y'all think about this so far? I mean, is this not crazy? This is crazy. And the more I do it, I'm telling y'all, I'm like, the crazier this is getting. I have been enjoying coming back and looking at y'all comments downtown in the comment section. Y'all are hilarious. And that's why we family, okay? Even those of you all who disagree respectfully. And I love you for it. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to pull up my glasses. What you say, Samantha? I honestly feel like she's telling half truths. I don't know how to feel about. Girl, I do. I have already, I think, unless something really drastic happens, I have already formed my opinion about Natalia. I don't know if you all have, but I absolutely have. As I said, I have been trying to skip a kid, but I can't do it, right? I just be looking at little bits and pieces because I really want to see what's happening. I've seen a lot of comments in the comment section where you all have been saying, Auntie, wait until you get to season 2. Well, we're almost there. We're 2 episodes away from it. And I will be doing a season, episode 5 tomorrow and episode 6 on Sunday. So I'm going to finally, get into season 2 of this. But I have already really formed my opinion about all of these. Okay. What I did not do fully was form my opinion about Jake. But honey, today I did. Okay. After I looked at it today, I was like, where's Jake's mugshot? Because Jake was doing the most. Jake was doing the most, and we may not want to say he was, but Jake was just as intertwined in the foo-la-la as Michael and Kristine. Yes, he was. He don't get away with nothing. And the other brothers probably was doing stuff too. That's why they ain't came out the box. But Jake was doing the most. Let's start. I know y'all think I'm crazy sometimes, but y'all just as crazy as I am because y'all hit that bill. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, let me bring up my notes. So we open up this episode with good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey, this is Mike. I just had a friend that hit me up on a tally and tell me that there's a link to a story that says I'm charged with 2 counts of child neglect. Is that true? I mean, like, what the hell's going on? So he was like, yeah, if this Michael, you damn skippy you are. That's correct. Now, can you imagine finding out that you've been charged with 2 counts of anything? You ain't got no notification. Somebody done sent this to you? And you call downtown to the police station and they say, yeah, auntie. Yeah, that would be you. And you need to come down here and turn your ass in. Or else we're going to come pick you up. You pick which one. Like, what are you talking? Like, what? I'm sorry. What? You know your heart at this point is in your drawers. When somebody says something like that to you. And then they nonchalant about it, eating a sandwich. Now, they made sure it was a sandwich and not a donut, bitch, because you know we was looking for a Dunkin' Donut bag. He told him, if you want to be accountable and show that you could be accountable, turn yourself in. So in 2002, in Lafayette, Indiana, we meet Detective Bob Cooper, right? He's a former police detective. He did everything from juvenile cases to homicides and all of that kind of stuff. He said when he was on the police department, he had a reputation for being, a really good investigator because he really cared about, justice and all of that kind of stuff. He said that the thing that he really liked about the job that he was doing was he liked to solve puzzles. So I'm sure he probably had crossword puzzles and all kinds of, books and stuff like that. Because, a lot of people that like to solve puzzles, they like crime and, just other little things, right? He said that he equated it to this case to being a Rubik's Cube for him, right? He said because every time he turns it around, it's changing from this to that and Nick to Knack and all of that kind of stuff. He said that he think that the Barnetts, when they adopted Natalia, they, they was sham. Okay. He said they didn't know what the fuck they was getting into. He said, he thought that they bargained for her. And they brought a pig in a boat, according to him, and they got rid of her ass. They put her in an apartment in Westfield, Indiana. Michael and Kristine, they would almost be a household word in his opinion. Okay. He said they the poster child for CPS. He said that he believed that Natalia created more problems than what they was expecting. And that they were, trying to get around the environment. They was trying to get around. They put her in an environment she ain't know. When they put her in Lafayette. He said basically they was like, let's get her the fuck out of our lives. We're going to drop her ass in the ghetto. He said they moved her an hour away, for which. He said they moved wait. I don't even know why that came up. Hold on. Why did that come up? And she wasn't in a nice area anymore. They put her in a rundown neighborhood. They thought that by placing her in that neighborhood, in an apartment by herself in that crime-ridden area, that she was out of sight, bitch, and out of mind. They said because she was up in the ghetto, they didn't feel like nobody would care about her ass, and she would just be on her own. He said, but what didn't happen in Lafayette, damn sure gonna happen in this town. So in 2013, they said that the Institute of Waterloo, they moved Jacob to Canada. He was 14 years old, and he was going there to get his damn master's degree. So they moved to Canada. Natalia had been in an apartment for a year, but she was acting an ass with the neighbors. Remember, she was going all up in their refrigerator. So when the lease ended, they was like, Natalia cannot stay up in this motherfucker no more. She walking in people's houses. She messing with people. You know, she rubbing up against the little boys while they trying to play, you know, their PlayStation and all of that kind of stuff. She rolling down on the grass with mother. They said, no, she got to go. The rental office had already told everybody because everybody was complaining about it. So the rental office was like, look, we got 3 things that we need to do, honey. We got enough now to evict her ass and not to renew her lease. So Kristine had to go and get Natalia and take Natalia somewhere else. And she was like, then I'm going to take her to the hood. Michael and they had the nerve to say that they casually strolled around the neighborhood and put her in a nice part of fucking town. But then come back later on and said that they put her in a poor white neighborhood. Bitches, you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He said the reason why we put it in because she was going to get her little GED. It had a grocery store down there, a laundromat. Bitch, it looked like the grocery. You know what? I ain't going to talk about the grocery store. But y'all know that was a corner store at best. They sent on everything, honey, from bras to drawers to hot dogs to cinnamon buns, laundry detergent. You know, they probably got a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. They got everything up in there. Okay, but what you really need to be able to live a nice, healthy life, right? I know damn well they ain't got no fruits and vegetables up in there. They ain't got none of that nutritious in there. It's just a corner store, and they feel like, okay, she got her little food stamp card. You know, fuck it. We didn't gave her basically everything that we feel like she needed. They said it was a bus route out there, a suicide prevention, a Salvation Army. What the hell? Michael said you could not draw a line more centralized or better for her ass to be in. But bitch, what they forgot was that I had steps, a narrow hallway for her to get her ass up and down. They was like, what she not going to be doing is having access to going up and down these steps all the time and looking at people and out at people's houses. So Detective Cooper said that he thought that, you know, this was a problem. And they was like, you know what? In their opinion, they was like, problem solved. We got rid of her. We get up out of here. We going to Canada, and we about to lose our best. We about to live our best life. And they was like, you know, basically they just washed their hands of Natalia and was like, we out of here. They said they felt like they had resolved the issue, but their nightmare was just beginning. And honey, it was, because the next thing you know, we met somebody by the name of Kenna. And Kenna was Natalia's neighbor, child. She said she had 9 cats, 2 dogs. When they was interviewing her, she had to get up and go somewhere. The dog was barking. She had a baby on her lap. It was just a hot mess. It was a hot mess. She lived in Lafayette basically her whole life. She was born and raised there. She said the first time that she saw Natalia was when she was with Michael and Kristine, and they were moving her into the apartment from the other one and put her little ass out. And she said she just assumed that they were the ones moving into the apartment, but she never saw them because, again, they dropped her ass off and she never saw them again. So, when you in a neighborhood like that, everybody peeping out the window and everybody know everybody's business until the cops come or some crime go down. Then don't nobody know nothing. Ain't nobody seen nothing. They ain't heard nothing. They wasn't home. Bitch, they was asleep. This is the kind of neighborhood this is that don't nobody know when they supposed to. So she, of course, now is curious because now she done identified that the girl is up in there by herself. She said the first time she met Natalia, she came over to her house and knocked on her door. She said, I was like, damn. I mean, I thought this was a kid at my door. And she said, and then Natalia went on to tell her that she was 22. And she said, I thought it was a little bit strange that she thought that she was 22. And Natalia said that she didn't have any fucking food. And that's because Natalia can't be running in and out of people's refrigerators anymore. She in a new neighborhood. But she was really bold, honey, because she was knocking on people's doors. I have never in my life knocked on nobody's door and told them I was hungry. I ain't got to do. She said she needed to call her parents so she could get some money. She said when I handed her the phone, she didn't even know how to use it. How in the hell did Natalia? See, this is the kind of stuff that be getting me. And y'all let me know downtown in the comment section. Because how the did Natalia not know how to use the phone when she was at the previous apartment for a year? She was calling 911. She knew how to call 911 and say, I'm stalking my neighbor. Natalia knew how to use the fucking phone. This is the kind of stuff that makes me think how manipulative this little girl was. Fuck what you heard. I ain't gonna sit up here and try to babysit nobody's else opinion about this. This is mine. You got yours. Put it down in the comment section. This is the that I be talking about. Because she been talking to everybody. So how in the hell she gets to another, because her little ass is hungry, now she give her a phone and Natalia act like she don't know how to use that mother. Come on. Come on. This the game for me. It's the playing around game for me. And y'all may not see it that way, but I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing through her little book. I'm not saying that they did this girl wrong. They ain't do this girl wrong. I think they did do it wrong. But goddamn it, she was playing games too, bitch. She was playing tic-tac-toe up and up too. Because how you gonna go to Ken's house and now all of a sudden you don't know how to use a phone? Out of here with that. She said, I was like, okay, well, do you got their phone number? She was like, no, I don't know it. So they had iPhones back then? Okay. Because back in the day, we were still writing in phone books, bitch. We were still using yellow pages and white pages and all of that kind of stuff. We wasn't at the place where I am now where I could barely remember a bitch phone number. I mean, maybe it's just me. But back in the day, you knew them phone numbers by heart, bitch. You was the iPhone. You were the mechanism. You was the AI back up in the day. And the numbers that you didn't know, okay? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I'm trying to think. Back in her day, I I don't remember having an iPhone in 2012. I remember having a flip phone, bitch. And I think my daughter had a Razor. The technology was not like it is now. And if you got a phone, you know how to use that month. You knew how to take your thumb and flip that bitch up. She get put the phone aside because she came over there with the bullshit and really said, I'm hungry. Can I have a sandwich? That's what you came over here for, because you know how to use that fucking phone. She said, I thought it was strange that they would put her on a second floor apartment and she had to climb 16 stairs plus 3 or 4 on the outside. She said that was a whole lot of steps for Natalia. And she was small. I do agree with that. She said she was struggling up and down the steps. She said, I was just like, what the hell is going on? And she was at 22. You know, with them kind of disabilities, she got special needs. So why would they just get her an apartment that she can't move around in, can't get up to the stove, can't use the wash machine, all of that kind of stuff? And she said, plus going up and down, it was just, you know, dangerous and she could have failed. And she said, and nobody would have even never known. Yes, they would have hurt her. She was just like, you know, a whole lot of stuff could have happened to her and all of that kind of stuff. And she said, you know, I just was like, she in a neighborhood full of wolves. Anything can happen to her. Why drop her off over here? She said it was down the street from the village pantry. You know what I'm saying? Where the homeless people was going. She said it was a homeless shelter out there. And she said it was crime happening everywhere. It was just a bad part of town. But she grew up there since she been there. So she probably was Mom Duke on the block. You know what I'm saying? It's always a Mom Duke. So she said, you know, it was basically the area was so bad that she wouldn't even let her own kids walk around there and stuff like that. And she said that, you know, she carried a weapon inside and outside of her home, but she said she had body gear. She said she realized in that moment that something was really going on with Natalia. And she said, and I just was like, okay, I got to do something about it. I need to help her. So, you know, she can have a good life, all that. So she said, Kristine and Michael, wait a minute, hold on. Let me get to my notes. Hold on, y'all. She said she couldn't imagine how scared she was. I wrote that down. Okay, wait a minute. She said that if she ever saw Kristine and Michael again, that she would just start swinging. Bitch, no, you wouldn't. So anyway, the next thing that we see is Michael and Kristine exchanging text messages. And the text message between Mike and Kristine said, I literally just got chewed out by Natalia's new apartment people. She never gave me the electricity info. She's been without power for 3 fucking days. Stop trying to control how she interacts with others. It does not work. It always causes us issues. Not us, him. Because Kristine didn't go over there. So Kristine was like, give her her food card and wipe all her contact lists and clear out her stuff. She doesn't have the ability to call the Hamilton County or call anybody else. So Michael was like, I'll wipe the contact list, but if you think she doesn't have those numbers memorized, you crazy. Kristine was like, I'll call an apartment for Natalia tomorrow. So Michael was like, and I'll sit inside with a shot. So Beth was like, wait a minute, hold on. So they took a 3-foot tall disabled little person, put her in an apartment on the 2nd floor where she got to go up and down these dangerous ass steps according to her disability. They put her in a high crime neighborhood. She's in an apartment with no accommodations for her disability. She can't reach the muffin stove. She can't reach the washing machine. Then they took her cell phone. There's no landline phone in an apartment building. And there's absolutely no way for her to call for help if she needs it. She said, this is the kind of that got them in trouble. So when they find out they're in trouble, now they give her cell phone back, but they wiped all of her contact information out of there. So basically she had to start from scratch. Then there wasn't no electricity or no food up in there. So what she said, what are they doing? Are they trying to keep her silent for good? What are they trying to do? She said, I spoke to Natalia one time. I never seen her with her parents. And I know every time I seen her, she was seeing her 95% of the time, she was by herself. This is what another neighbor said. He said, I've been in the neighborhood since the 60s. I've seen it go from bad to worse, and I've been in trouble before. He said he messed up his motherfucking life. He said he messed his life up. He said, you know, he had, you know, some offenses, you know, he can't be around kids. He said he did his time and he came out, he minded his business. So when he saw her, he was like, no, I ain't got it to do. He was like, because of all the stuff that he been through and the stuff that he cannot go through again, he watched his back. He said he watched everything because he don't want to get caught up. So when he saw Natalia ask, he was like, no, you need to stay away from that. He said about a month later, she started going to the adult reading academy. And he said, I just didn't see her come home anymore. He said, it was like, you know, her ass, little ass just disappeared. He said, and I didn't know what I was looking for. He said, I wanted to stay away and protect her, right? But I just was like, you know, I ain't got it to do. He said, Natalia could have knocked on any door and could have been the last door she ever knocked on. That's how bad the neighborhood was. So Michael was like, one day when we moved to Canada, he said he got a call from the adult GED center that she had been assigned to. See, because Michael and Kristine still had their numbers and stuff like that on everything, because I'm sure they were still paying for everything and all of that kind of stuff, even though she had an EBT card, everything, right? So he said, you know, they called him and everything, was like, her ass ain't coming to classes. Have you seen Natalia? So he was like, I'm all the way in Canada now. Of course, he didn't tell him that, but he was like, no, I ain't seen her. He said, then they started making phone calls. Phone calls for what? Didn't you wipe out all of her? They was trying to figure out where the hell she was. And so Beth was like, when Natalia went missing, suddenly Michael and Kristine give a damn. They care about what's happened to her. They ain't care nothing about where they left her or the conditions that they left her in. They ain't care. She said, why in the hell are they worried about her now? So Michael was like, later on, we got a call from the GED center, was like, don't worry about it. We done found her little ass. She's with this lady named Cynthia. So he was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Who is Cynthia? Child, everybody was rallying around her. And that's one thing about neighborhoods, right? People will rally around you. They will. People will make it do what they do. Especially if you in the hood. Even if they trying to get something from your ass. Like a couple of hot dogs and some buns and some ketchup and mustard, you know, for some hot dogs or something for their kids. For the most part, in the hood. Or just in city areas, you know your neighbors. Like I know my neighbors. My neighbors know me. I'm still friends with my neighbors that I grew up with in my neighborhood when I was a child. So, you know, in certain communities, there is a sense. So I don't want to just say it's the ghetto or the hood. I want to say in city area, you know your neighbors. You know what time they get up and go to work. You know what time they come home. You know how many kids they got. You know if they got pets. Like, you know when they ain't home. Like my neighbor today, I was like, okay, they ain't been home. Where the hell they at? So I'm going to get on their ass when they come back and let them know, you need to let me know when you going out so I can make sure ain't no water main pipes burst or nothing like that in your home. I'm getting on their ass when they get back. Because usually they really good about saying, hey, we going to get, this time they ain't saying nothing. I'm just noticing that the snow ain't shoveled over there. You understand what I'm saying? So in neighborhoods, you do certain neighborhoods, you really do have that kind of camaraderie. As a matter of fact, this morning I woke up to somebody out there doing my whole daggone front. I'm talking about shovel all my snow up. That's neighborhood. So I could understand why Cynthia and Kenna and all of them was, you be looking. You look and you notice and you get a sense of neighborhood, right? You gotta watch out for each other. So she said, Kristine wanted to find out who she was. And she wouldn't do, she would do whatever she needed to do. She said Kristine needed to be in control of everything. She said, so why would she try to call Cynthia? She said, we have a conversation with her. So let us know where she let us know that she's living with them. And they was like, okay, she's moved in with us. So Kristine was like, what? So Michael and Kristine called the Lafayette Police Department and the Adult Protective Services. They go out to evaluate the situation and they report back to Michael and Kristine. And they find out that she had, had a food stamp card that had $500 on it. And they spent all the money and all the food was at Cynthia in them house. And he was like, if you like this, give us a thought. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, so she was in the thing doing a little whatever, child. So they said a week later, they got notified by mail that Natalia Social Security payments, which Michael and them was using to reimburse themselves for all of her living expenses, was no longer under his motherfucking name. He said within 2 weeks of Cynthia meeting her, Natalia goes down there and switch all her to Cynthia. Sign all her over. Because she up in the house with Cynthia. So basically to Michael and them, Cynthia down there making money off of Natalia. As a matter of fact, they took and subleased the girl's fucking apartment. They moved Natalia into their house, got all the Social Security payment, got her $500 EBT card, bitch, and subleasing her apartment. Who does that but a hood rat? Hood rats do like that. She up in there with all them kids. And she did. Now, goddamn well they lost that apartment when they found out that her ass is somebody else's. Who does that? Hold on, y'all. Gotta close that vent. Whew. And Michael and them found out wasn't nothing they could do about it. You know why? Because there were certain times they wanted Natalia to be a kid, and then other times when Natalia was a grown up and they had no control over what the fuck was going on with it. So basically, they found out that it wasn't a damn thing they could do about it. So between 2014 and 2019, the law enforcement was on their ass. They was investigating everything that was going on with Natalia because the block was hot, bitch. The block was hot. And in 2019, a detective by the name of Brandon Davenport came up on the scene because he was like, the block is hot, and this what I do. I like solving puzzles, and this is what we're going to do. He started looking into the case. So on July 22nd of 2019, Davenport received a call. And on the call, it was like, hi. How many times? I'm assuming that you may know I'm trying to get a hold of you. So yeah, have you guys tried to look into adopting Natalia? Cynthia. She was like, we tried, but the court denied that. So she done lived with us since 2014. She been with us for 5 years. Let me make sure I wrote that note down right. 5 years, Natalia been living with them, while the Barnetts is living their best life. And because ain't nothing happening or nothing that they think is happening, they left her at Cynthia's house for fucking 5 years. She said she done moved in here. We done fell in love with her. And we treat her like she our own. She basically told Natalia, you up in the house. She said, I brought her little ass up in here. She was hungry. I cooked her a good old meal, and we done took over, child. We done took over. She said by this time, Kristine had already called her phone so many times. She was terribly scared. Kristine, she said, I was like, girl, look, back up off of it. She said Natalia was like, okay, my mother keep calling and everything. And she was like, all right, you look like you shaking up and everything. Go ahead and put that on speakerphone. Y'all know how we do with the speakerphone. They put it up on the speakerphone. And Kristine was hollering at her and all of that kind of stuff. And she was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She said, I told Kristine, back the fuck up. You ain't going to talk to Natalia like that. You the one that brought her over this. You dropped her off and you ain't cared nothing about her. Nothing. Then she said Kristine started trying to badmouth her and was like, you know, she a little hot box and she this and she that and all of that kind of stuff. But at that point, Cynthia was getting the Social Security. Cynthia ass was getting the daggone food stamps. Cynthia was subleasing the apartment. Cynthia was getting paid. And she was like, what you ain't going to do is fuck up the church's money. You ain't doing it. She'd have been over here now, and now you calling? She said that when she was talking to Cynthia and listening to Cynthia talk to Natalia on the phone, she said that basically the tone was so irate and dangerous. She was like, I wonder how this lady act or would act if she was in Natalia's face. So the Davenport police was like, look, I ain't looking for you, right? The block is hot, but this ain't got nothing to do with you. I want to find Michael and Kristine. Are you willing to fill out this paperwork? Okay, because all this stuff is getting suspicious and I need you to do. So in 2014, okay, they finally got the courage. Michael finally got the courage to leave Kristine. Her and the boys stayed in Canada and he came back to Indiana. He said that the relationship was, you know, what do they call it on them divorce decrees? Irrevocably, something broken or whatever it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They just weren't going to be able to gather. He said they lost almost everything in the marriage, right? And he said the main thing that they lost was, you know, basically the trust. And Michael and Kristine started losing stuff. So they said on September 5th of 2019, Detective Davenport went to go and visit Michael's household. He went up to the house. He said, look, I'm coming up here because there's some shit going down. I ain't going to rush you today. So Michael was like, what you ain't going to rush me today? Can you just take today off? And he was like I said, I ain't coming in here to pick your ass up today. But there's some things that we basically got to talk about. So Michael already know he done came back from Canada. He's sitting up here. He did right by that damn girl because she been at Cynthia's house for 5 years. And now he got Davenport up in his face. He said, I came here because it's some rumors out there in the street. Do you think that you're a good guy? Period. Mike was like, yeah, he was like, I think you're a good guy. But right now I'm focused mainly on Kristine. Michael threw her ass up underneath the bus. He was like, I ain't going down for this bull. She is. He said she a master a manipulator. She'll do whatever it takes to get whatever she wants. He said, let me ask you something. So we've been talking to the people that live downtown to the Lafayette neighborhood. Why do you think that Cynthia dropped Natalia down there to the Lafayette? And he was like, because she said it's a white trash town and ain't nobody going to care nothing about Natalia's little ass while she out there. He said, basically, she was like, ain't nobody going to notice her. Who the fuck ain't going to notice a dwarf in their neighborhood that's living in an apartment building that got all these flights of stairs and she coming around and begging for food at people's houses. She living downtown to Cynthia's house. See, what Kristine didn't realize was neighborhood. She didn't realize community. So the what she thought was going to happen, the opposite came because people in the hood are nosy. And for her to say this is a white trash town, he said basically they said when she get out there to the hood, she ain't going to be able to con and manipulate nobody. Basically, he told him, he said, you know this was wrong. You know that this was wrong. He said, but let me ask you a question now. Now, this was it. Now, I know that, rumor has it that she's 22 and a judge wrote, some paperwork up and said, re-aged her to 22. But seriously, though, Michael, how old do you think she was? He said, about 20, 23. Beth said, booyaka! Booyaka! That means 6 years earlier, when y'all had her in that other apartment, by your own calculations, she was still a minor over there. And Michael just admitted to it in front of Detective Davenport because he was so shook up that he was not getting arrested that day, but there's a strong possibility he done found out he got charges against his ass. He back here in the United States. He ain't been taking care of the girl, neither him nor Kristine. They ain't together no more. He ain't got her to back him up. So he sit up there throwing her up underneath the bus. So on September 2nd of 2019, Detective Davenport got a call and it was like, hey, what's up? Michael was like, I just had a friend send me a link that says I'm charged with two counts of child neglect. He was like, yeah, so what can I expect? Bring your ass down here. So Michael takes his ass down there and gets booked. He had the audacity to say to be charged with child neglect is embarrassing and it's appalling. It's disgusting and degrading. Well, how do you think Natalia felt the whole time that y'all had her living from pillar to post, knocking on people's doors? And why is it that they could not understand what they was doing to this little girl? He went and turned himself in, got him a lawyer and turned himself in and got put into a holding cell. They fingerprinted the out of him. And the only thing he was worried about, not his mugshot, because he was like, I'm cool with that. I'm worrying about what's going to happen to me when I get outside. Well, bitch, why weren't you thinking about that then? He bonded out of jail. And then next thing you know, Kristine comes and turns herself in. Michael said the next day he had employees who was pulling him up on their computer, going to the boss and saying, do you see this raggedy son of a just sitting up here in the office then got locked up? They was saying he was a monster up in there after they got the full allegations of what was going on with him. And he said, and suddenly I am the bad guy of the universe. Michael, you've been the bad guy of the universe. But now all of a sudden, it's his ex-wife issue. She was the one with the power. She was the one that had control. Michael, you was playing games with her. So now y'all against each other, which is why this episode was called, Barnett versus Barnett, and, bitch. Now Natalia, according to Beth, ain't the target. Kristine is. Because Michael got to throwing her up underneath the bus in September of 2002. Michael says that he is the definition of a guy who has lost it all. He was out there with his little Lambo, his little bright yellow Lambo, said the bitch don't even run. But he luckily kept his house because his son Jake is living in the bottom of it. He had a trial that was coming up in the next couple of months. And he said, he feel like he did nothing wrong. He sat there and said that he was being manipulated by Kristine. He was weak. In an upcoming episode, bitch, he is crying and acting a plum month fool. He done lost his goddamn dramatic ass mind. Now, all of a sudden, he was abused. But you knew that Kristine had this little girl hid up against the wall for 8 motherfucking hours. 8 hours. You come in the house from work. She is up there on the wall because of something she allegedly did. You knew that she had soiled herself. And you let Kristine treat that girl worse than an animal. And you sat there, brought your ass in there. You ain't rescued this girl. You ain't say about it. Matter of fact, you sat your ass down there and ate a TV dinner while your wife taunted her. And you want to blame all of this on her. You had the power to save that little girl. Here it is late at night and she done soiled herself again. 8 hours on a wall. And he wondered why his kids, his other sons, ain't seen him in 8 fucking years. He had the nerve to be screaming, we was all abused in that house. And Kristine was the abuser. You're going to get the truth out of me. But I warn y'all, you might not like it, but you're going to get the truth. The truth is that you let that go down. Next thing we know, we hear from Jake ass. Jake said that there was a dynamic between Natalia and the rest of the family that seemed to shift relatively early the on. He said my mom would get into arguments and try to figure out who Natalia really was, and their relationship was hostile. Michael said that Kristine and Natalia were in imminent danger. All this was going on. And he told me my kids was one step below it. Yeah, they was. Because they was active participants in fucking with Natalia. Then he gonna tell me something. I tell you, within 5 years, somebody gonna be dead. And we see Natalia head up against the motherfucking wall. And she's spinning her around and telling her, if you don't sit your ass in that chair and write down who you are and all the people that you know, you gonna stand on them. That's not manipulation, Michael. Jake came out his trick bag and said that my mom firmly believed that Natalia was an agent. Houseway. She really believed that she was an agent to come up in there and do harm. Michael said every fucking day Kristine and Natalia will have a argument or some shit that will go on. Every day. And you will come in there and you could eat a meal. And she's sitting up there talking about you're going to write your sentence down. And until you do, you're going to be up against that wall. She said that that little girl was standing there from 10 a.m. in the morning to when he got the fuck home from work. 8 goddamn hours. And he's someone to, she told me don't say a word. Leave her alone. Don't try to save her. Don't try to help her. Now he flicking out. Well, where was the flick out when this was going on? Do you know how she smelled? That's probably why when she was in the hood, she got accustomed to smelling shitty. He told me, she was like, you gonna back me up. Do you understand? He was like, yeah. He said 2 o'clock in the morning came around. He was sitting on the couch. So now this is past 8 hours. At this point, she had defecated on herself. And she ain't moved off that wall. He said every day when he would come home, the best case scenario in the relationship between Natalia and Kristine is if Natalia was in her room. He said it was like that for 2 fucking years. And you're the man in the house. So the dude was like, well, what was the worst case scenario? If that's the best, what was the worst? He said, I told the cops this. So I might as well go ahead on and tell you too. He said about 3 years ago, I came up in the house. And I saw some shit go down. So the dude was like, you know what went down? He said, hold on. So Michael gets down on the floor. He tells the cameraman, angle the camera like this. He said he came up in there. He said this was about 2011. He watched Kristine grab Natalia. Now he's on the floor. She grabs the little girl, Natalia, throws her to the ground, and just get the He said, not only was she hitting her with her fist while she on the ground, but he said she elbowing her. He said it's a wonder that every bone in Natalia's body did not break or shatter. You were culpable. You motherfucker. You are just as responsible for what happened to that little girl. As a matter of fact, bitch, let's say she was 18, 20, 22. Nobody has the right to treat anybody like that. He got the audacity to say, while he let Kristine beat the out the little girl, because that's what he said, she beat the out of her. He said he had his cell phone like this. Oh, thank you, Yazel. Thank you so much, Boo, for the cash app. Thank you. He said he had his phone like this, trying to record. What? Oh, God. Hold on. He said he had his cell phone like this, trying to record what was going on, while she down there wailing on that little girl, beating the tomfoolery out of her. And I mean, y'all, when I say that he was on that floor, I can't get down on the floor because the camera ain't gonna go with me, but he was on the floor just punching and punching and punching and punching and elbowing and punching and punching and elbowing and punching and elbowing. And he's sitting his weak punk ass in the chair filming. And when she catch him filming this, she told him to wipe it off. Go in his phone and delete all of that off. And that's what he did. But then, but then he says he kept the phone in the hopes that somebody will be able to go back and find the data. You sorry mother. You was complicit. You were complicit. So Davenport is playing games with him. He was like, yeah, it seemed like Kristine was a master manipulator. But he was using a tactic where he was allowing Michael to bump his gums and make him think that he believed him. He tried to backpedal and pussy pop off of it and make everything about Kristine when you was complicit. He said that when Kristine was wailing on that little girl, that he would be sitting there not knowing what to do. You knew what to do. You knew what to do. So next thing you know, there's a text message that pops up between Michael and Kristine again. He sends her a text message and said, I got a video of you beating the holy freaking hell out of Natalia in the living room, trying to beat the truth out of her. I get it. I know you're a good person, and that's not like you, but I got it out, but it got out of hand. She deserved it. But still, she deserved a butt kicking like that. Kristine said, whatever. She was very evil, and you know it. She is a psychopath. How dare you compare yelling at me to flipping out on a criminal in my house, impersonating a 3-year-old, threatening and poisoning people, and lying to get my husband to sleep with her in the room? When the fuck did this come up? But Beth said, even though he accused her, she didn't deny it. She doubled down on it and was like, and the reason why I did it, because she was a fucking psychopath. She was lying about her age and she was trying to sleep with you. So that's how Kristine justified that. So we see him talking with the Davenport police, and they was like, oh, okay, well, go ahead on. I mean, speaking with Mr. Davenport, and he was like, you giving me consent to have the phone? Give it to me. Mike thinking he gonna get a lesser sentence. Dude said, I ain't got the power to do that. That's up to the prosecutors. I ain't got the power to give you nothing. Jake then comes back and says, my mom's perspective of Natalia is that she infiltrated our family and wanted to harm us. So she used us to harm her. And she said that she was doing this because a psychiatrist or a therapist told her to do it. And Jake was smart enough to know that if a psychiatrist or a therapist had said to do that, that they would lose their fucking job. So then why was Jake doing shit to her? Peeing on her bed. Jake was culpable too. Then he sat there and tried to avoid the switch this shit up. Excuse my language. Because why the in Jake got a mugshot? That's my... And Michael all up on him. Talking, thank you for coming back. I ain't think, Jake was like, I ain't gonna sit around here categorizing people into clusters of good people and bad people. Yeah, bitch, because then you're gonna have to categorize yourself in the shit you did. And possibly your other brothers did. Talking about, I ain't gonna put people in no category, good people, bad people. I will, bitch. Talking about he don't want to falsely blame nobody. What? Then when he tried to get his mother to acknowledge some stuff, she said, kiss my ass, Jake. I ain't saying nothing. So Jake was like, I wasn't looking for no apology. I just was looking for her to you. For what? There you go, talking about I ain't comfortable sharing no stuff. He said, but I understand that my time gonna run up and I ain't run out and I ain't gonna be able to sit here and continue to cover my mother. You lying mother. So they was sitting in there with him, right? They was interviewing him down there in that little dungeon ass basement. So one of the ladies' wives was like, he was like, I mean, my mom is definitely not 100% innocent, so I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, like where, I don't really want to hurt my mother or anything like that. And I recognize that if I say something, it's possible that, I could, and I could, and I could, the lady was like, but if you tell the truth though, Jake, about what's going on, you could exonerate this little girl who getting dragged through the motherfucking mud and look like she was being dragged through the fucking house. So the other lady was like, you know what, Jake? She tried another little methodology. She said, Jake, one of my favorite scenes is from Martin Luther King Jr. You know, he said that justice delayed is justice denied. Jake got the fuck up out of there. He said, what we ain't going to do is talk about Martin Luther King. So next thing we know, Jacob walks away from the interview. He ain't got it to do. Because see, when she brought that Martin Luther King, he was like, I got to go. He completed his thing, and we see him walking up the stairs. The crew basically packing up their stuff, but they realized Jake still got his fucking mic, and it's on. So they standing strategically down at the bottom of the stairs. Michael was already up there, and he comes and meets his son. But he ain't turned his mic off. He was like, well, you know, this is what I said. I told them about my last interaction with mom. But, you know, I guess that's the moral thing that I've been struggling with is that, you know, there's some like I wanted to make it seem like my mom, like mom could be redeemed. And I didn't think it was worth dragging her character down anymore. So, you know, I stopped the interview. But what I did not talk about, I didn't tell them about kicking her down the stairs, all the kicking down the stairs. Because Dad, didn't we say that we weren't going to say that? We said we weren't going to talk about that, right? You know, my plan wasn't to tell him that. And he said, and plus I understand that there could be some legal recourse. And Michael was like, no, you was a minor. They can't do shit to you because you was a minor. Because I don't want to be subpoenaed or nothing like that. I don't want to be in it. He was like, chill out. You was just a child. It's okay. I told them some shit today too. You should have heard what I said. And then a month I realized y'all know what he realized? Hold on one second. You know what he realized? That his motherfucking mic wasn't on. I mean, it was on. And then he called it so stupid. Because he realized that he was culpable too. He was doing too. Who kicks somebody down the stairs? Him and his dad had set their asses up there and came up with a strategy on how to answer and not answer them fucking questions. All of them was crazy. All of them, in my opinion, were manipulative. All of them was culpable in abusing that little girl or woman. I don't give a damn what you call her. All of them, whether she was 9, bitch, 18, or 26. They all were involved. Every one of them. And that's my opinion. So I'm going to ask the question that I started this off with in my thumbnail. Where the fuck is Jake's mugshot? Where is it? Because Jake was doing some torturous stuff. You come and pee on my bed? You a big grown look like you about 6'5", and you know you got a whole lot of pay. You kick it down the stairs? You got a master's degree, you ain't dumb. Mother, nah. Thank you so much, Maria T, for the $2 super chat. I watched all of season 1 because of you. Thank you, boo. I appreciate it. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lillian Lopez, for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I thought you were already a member. Are you rejoining, Lillian? You must be rejoining. Welcome. Welcome back. Oh my God. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this downtown to the comment section. Make sure that y'all take the opportunity to welcome Lillian Lopez to the membership. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, these people, how they getting away with this? Where's Jake's mugshot? Because just when you start thinking that I'm innocent, they come out and bump their gums, and you find out that they was just as much in it as everybody else. Yes, Kevin. Where's Kevin? He asked me that. Where's it? Where's that at? Hold on. I saw his question. Hold on. Or was that him that asked me, or was that somebody else? I thought that somebody asked me whether or not I was going to be doing season 2. Or did that go away? Oh, that was Juanita. Where's Juanita? Auntie, are you going to review season 2 as well? Absolutely. So as I started off the video, you may have come in late, and it's okay. So I am going to be doing tomorrow season 1, episode 5, and then on Sunday, season 1, episode 6. All of next week will be dedicated to completing the series, because after that, we're going to go into another series. Okay. So by next week, we will be completed and finished with The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, or Natalia Speaks. We're going to be finished with that by next week. So, season 2, episode 1 will start on Monday. We're going to go through it. Yes, I'm going to be working my ass off. I'll be working my ass off, but we're going to get it done, because we're going to be reviewing Gypsy Rose. So for those of you all who like to be prepared, because you like to run your mouth in the comments section, you be wanting to get in where you fit in, we are going to be immediately starting on Gypsy Rose. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Now, I know I've heard in the comments section that season 2 of Natalia Grace is better than season 1. So honey, who you talking about? Somebody wanting to peek and get out there and go to off. Right? Yes, but I haven't. I've been holding on. Okay, and making sure that I don't read or listen to other people's comments and stuff like that about it, right? Because I like to come to you all raw, unfiltered, not influenced by anybody else's thoughts or anything like that. I did watch these 3 guys who were doing like, you know, a psych eval of her, 4 guys. I did watch that. But yes, season 2 will be next week. We're going to get through it. We got it to do. We're going to do it. So I absolutely appreciate every last one of you who are here. I really do. I appreciate you all allowing me to do different content and content that we all can get into, right? And it ain't a whole drawn out like, yeah. For the members, Game of Thrones, Sister Wives Rewatch is in the membership. It comes out the next day to the general public. Don't forget that I am I edit it before it comes out. And so all the comments and the dialogue of the members who come up to chat about it, because I dropped the link in the membership, that will not be available once I edit it and take all of that information out. So you said what you say? What? Thank you, Miss Kelly. Okay. B. Nicole said, y'all better strap up for next week. Oh my goodness. For real, is that bad? If I'm going to be coming out here just going the hell off more than I already do. We'll see. Thank you again, everybody, so much for being here. Thank you so much to Lillian Lopez for joining the membership. Thank you so much for Maria T for the $2 super chat. I truly do appreciate you. Thank you, Ray Della, for holding it down and moderating and making sure that everybody has a wonderful time downtown to the chat. Until the next time that we meet, y'all be safe in those streets and in the water. Love y'all.